You're live, baby.
All right. Hey, how you guys doing? It's the Do Carpenter. This is our Saturday morning live show, and the always beautiful Mrs. Do Carpenter. And we woke up to a couple inches of snow, and it's still snowing in Idaho Falls, Idaho on Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd, which I just don't know what to think about that. But hey guys, I got a chance to work on the book and the drawings and get some of that moving along this week, and so those will be coming out soon. I also did a lot of work on the on finishing up the water wheel, and we're going to be shooting a kind of a video on that here soon. And I got started on the wind turbine, which I am super excited about. And you know, I've already been working on the wind turbine, the foundation of it and everything, but I'm talking about the wind turbine head and the airfoil wings and everything that goes on it. And so, anyways, that's what we've been working on this past week. And let's see who's on, babe. Sometimes it takes a while for...
All right, Seek to Find says no way, because it's snowing. Yeah, it's crazy. Beaver Creek Farm Life, he put our email, honeydewcarpenter1@gmail.com. He put our Etsy link, so you can click on that link and go buy a foam mate. And he put our Teespring account, which you can go buy a coffee mug or a t-shirt with our logo on it. And our website. He put our website link up there too. So thank you, Beaver Creek Farm Life. Seek to Find says we finally got rid of ours. They got rid of their snow and we found it.
All right.
Jeff Krupke says, OMG, snow, huh? Crazy, right?
It
It is crazy waking up to all that snow. Kenny Bean says, hey, from East Washington. Keep up the hard work. Hope all is going great.
It is. Thanks, Kenny.
Gail says, morning, my buds. Lovely to see you today. Well, Gail, good morning. Thank you. Beaver Creek Farm Life, you're so awesome. He put a link up there for our large foam mate and wand, which is our #1 seller. So if you guys are interested, click that link and it'll bring it right up for you. He also put a link on there for our large stucco mate.
And yeah, that has been selling really well too, because people have been liking being able to make the aircrete panels and then just spray the hard coating onto it. And you can spray a base coat, and then you can put your fiberglass mesh or your fabric and spray over that. It's crazy cool.
It really is pretty cool. My hair's like being crazy right now. All right, stucco mate large. Jeff says, how much of the water source needed for the water wheel?
You don't need much of a water source for a water wheel, especially if you have overwater and are using a traditional water wheel like they would for a mill or whatnot. If you're going to do underwater and just have paddles that the thing moves, then it takes a little bit more to have the same amount of power. But we just did ours in an irrigation ditch. It looks really cool, and I'll have to show it to you. We actually took an old agricultural steel wheel and welded some used agricultural discs to it, and then after that, to give it a little bit more oomph and power, we were able to source some of these and repurposed old satellite dishes, just, you know, for like on your home satellite dishes, and we put those on, and it's kind of cool looking. It's really neat.
It is pretty cool looking. Guyana University says, hi Melanie and Darwin, love you guys. Aw, thank you. We love all of you guys too. William Craig says, greetings from Memphis, Tennessee. And thumbs up. Thanks, William.
And I saw that post you put and that message he sent us on his little hydroponics thing he's doing. That was cool. That is super cool. I can't wait to see the results of that.
Seek Define says, do you have just the spray nozzle for the small foam mate on your Etsy store for washing down kids' equipment? We don't yet. I haven't put
We
it up.
don't. I should put it up. They're really easy to make. I mean, there's one. It just has a slit in the top of a 1/2-inch cap with a 1/2-inch nozzle, and it just screws right in the end of your foam mate, and it just sprays like the devil.
That's kind of cool.
But you know what? We should try and get a quick video out and show people how to make these. And if they don't want to make them, we can send them the parts already done, and they can just.
Right. So, and we will try and get something like that in the Etsy store, right?
Like this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff says, getting energy back from all of the pumps needed to move that water. Some cities are putting city water pipes. Are putting pumps in city water pipes?
Oh, they're putting little turbines and stuff in city water pipes?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if they have a gravity source where it's going down and it's just free energy, that's one thing. But if you're already moving it through the pipes using a pump, it's kind of doesn't make sense.
All right, so, Christopher says that he received his stucco mate and it looks great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Christopher, for saying that. That's awesome. All right, I think that's the last. Oh, wait, there's another one. Good thing he said something else. Portland water pipe turbines. Huh.
I'll have to look that up. That's kind of cool. Because there's got to be certain areas where even if they do pump the water and then they're running it down a pipe, it might run from one level to another, and you have that gravity energy that you would be just completely wasting. But you could put a turbine in that area right there and get back some of that energy. That is kind of cool.
That is cool. David Bennett says, good morning, movie stars. Got my foam mate. New smelling. Is it smelling? A new foam mate. That's awesome.
I remember shipping his, and I built his, and I was going, oh, David Bennett.
That's awesome. Seek to Find says, my indoor potatoes and carrots in 5-gallon buckets are getting huge. That's awesome.
Indoor potatoes and carrots in
buckets.
5-gallon buckets.
That's awesome.
That's kind of cool.
Right? Wow, Christopher Myers, what a wonderful blessing. Thank you. He just donated $5.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
Amazing, Christopher. You're so awesome. And he says, blessings and thanks. Thank you. William Craig says, I'm working a hydro turbine in my aquaponic systems. Great minds. That's so
Right.
awesome, William.
Great minds think alike.
Bill says, can the stucco mate be used for aircrete? Well, it says air crew, but I think
you meant aircrete. And what you're talking about is actually spraying aircrete. And yes, it can, but you're going to knock out probably 60% of the air capacity of it. So it's going to be a much denser layer. So you can aerate the cement and you can spray it with the stucco mate, but you're going to have to make sure that you do a really even job, because once you get it on, and if it's aircrete, you can't really trowel it smooth. It doesn't work because there's no sand in it. And so I would just recommend just pouring aircrete and then using the stucco mate to put the hard shell on with your fabric and your reinforcement on the outer edge and on the inside too. It works great.
David Bennett said it looks great and he can hardly wait to insulate his garage with aircrete. And you're going to be amazed to know that
Right.
this insulation. Oh, wow.
One thing you just want to be careful of if you're insulating an existing structure with wood and whatnot, is you're just going to want to do small, short lifts. And a lift means, like, let's say you're putting the aircrete inside a hollow wall. You're just going to want to put it 6 inches deep and let it sit for 24 hours. So you'd want to go all around the wall or the inside 6 inches deep and call it good for 18 hours or so, 24 hours. And then you can put another lift on. If you try and do it all at once, the weight and pressure of the stuff on top of the bottom stuff will just pop all the bubbles out, and it'll just start running out any area where, just keep that in mind.
Jeff says, are you guys fully recovered from the car accident?
I am, but the only thing that is a little bit bothersome to me, and it's bothersome to Mrs. Honeydew, is my hearing. And I have this constant tendinitis and ringing ever since I had that severe concussion. But I can still think through it and work past it, and it's annoying, but I don't know. I guess it's common when older. I'm not older. I guess I'm 50 this year. She calls me old man.
I do. All right, Donald says, good afternoon from Montreal, Quebec. Have you heard about the sun activity slowing down? It may be good to emphasize on substitute systems like the wind and the water use with the banking supply. Thumbs up.
It's kind of crazy the different scientific models they use to measure the sun's thermal activity and the temperature differences and everything. There's so many different models out there, and there's so many different that it's hard to almost give too much credence to just one model's their assessment. And I have heard of it, and it is kind of cool, but I still think the sun is the sun, and the wind is the wind, and the water is the water, and there's all these energy sources that just go right past us every day. And my whole goal and my whole deal is to capture as much of that energy as possible to help create better lives for everybody. And aircrete does that too, the way it absorbs energy in the night, and then when the sun shines and it's really hot, it's still nice and cool inside those aircrete buildings. That's one way of using energy with a specific product like aircrete that has certain specific properties that allow it to do that. And then with these wind turbines and these water turbines and these other things that I'm working on, I really think that there are going to be some great DIY things that come out of just from people watching the video and being inspired to come up with their own things, because everybody's circumstances wherever they're at are different. Like we have a 15-mile-an-hour prevailing wind from the south going north where we're at, about 221 days a year or something. Mm-hmm. So, we have that. And a lot of people, their conditions are different, and they only have a 5-mile-an-hour prevailing wind. And there's different wing systems and different setups for different turbines that'll work different for different conditions. And so it's going to be fun doing a lot of different experiments on these different heads that I'm working on. I'm working on 5 different types of heads that can be put up. I have a boom down foundation that I can just put any head on it and just crank it up 25 feet in the air and do testing with it. And so I'm going to be testing several different types of wind turbine heads in different wind speeds and everything else, and it'll just give us an idea that depending on whatever your situation is, what you should do. So
David Bennett says that he's ordering his stucco mate next. That's awesome.
Cool.
Paradise Farm says hello from Laredo, Texas. Hello back. And David says that he's going to be using sliding forms to insulate his garage.
Oh,
Christopher Myers says, I'm considering the concept of an aircrete refrigerator, perhaps a root cellar aircrete dome. Thought?
yeah. I have actually, we're gonna, when we get our property, and we're hoping that it'll happen this fall, we want to put that exact thing in as well. So you're not, that is really cool, because an underground aircrete system, because the underground part of it will keep it at a constant 48 to 52 degrees anyway, it would take very little energy to make that a walk-in refrigerator. Like the same refrigerator compressor and everything that does a normal stand-up fridge in like your kitchen, could, just that much energy could refrigerate an entire walk-in one for underground, insulated with aircrete. And so it's going to be fun to see what we can do and compare apples to apples, where a walk-in one above ground would take 5 times the energy to keep cold. So, what?
David Bennett, he says, older, question mark, turned 71 on the 13th. Smiley face. See, you're not old, even though I call you old.
Yeah, I'm not old.
Oren says, hi from Derry in Ireland. And I probably said that totally wrong. It's probably like Deary or something.
But it's Derry in Ireland.
Wow.
That's
right?
awesome.
And he said, foam make is great. That's awesome. Thank you for letting us know. Guyan says, happy belated B-Day, David. You guys are awesome. Christopher Myers says, I saw that they did a first building in Missouri spraying a hempcrete home.
Oh, wow.
That sounds awesome.
I'll have to look that up.
Right?
That's really cool.
And happy belated birthday, David. Guyan University says, my mom turns 84 tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Alan says, I am 71. Wow. Oren says, is 4 inches of aircrete 100% waterproof?
No, absolutely not. No. Aircrete is not waterproof. It will absorb water. And if you've seen any of our videos where we had those aircrete panels laying out, right before we did the video where we put up the front wall for the aircrete shop we built, Grandpa, we just got pounded with rain and hail. And so those things got pelted with hail. That didn't damage them too bad, but they did soak up a little bit of water, and we were putting them up wet. It didn't matter. They dried out and went away, and you still have to coat them with an outer coating, a waterproofing coating, like a stucco coating. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Mark says, Judy something pandemic totally suppressed information. Okay. David says, up here where I live, it's a commercial wind turbine region. Wow.
See,
so David could do.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that live along these commercial wind areas, and would really greatly benefit. I can't wait to show them what I've done with some Army surplus things, so that they can actually have these professional looking wings, and they can do it by, getting kits and getting it cheap for like 1/10 what the Army paid for them.
Seek2Find is wondering, will they be power generators, the wind and the water wells?
Yeah, definitely the wind turbine. Because I augmented a alternator, Delco Ace, I forget the number on it, but it's a Delco alternator. I had the guts taken out and had them changed so that it would go a lower amp, lower RPM, and it would work for that, where it was originally meant to be like a 100 amp alternator and be high RPM like in a car. But there are ways to augment those things and make them work for lower RPM. And so that's what we're going to plan on putting on the wind turbine, is that. And so we'll be able to take the multimeter and show you the actual numbers and everything that we're getting out of it. The RPMs, the wind speed, and things like that. It's going to be good.
Christopher Myers says, I wish you could live here on my farm and we could innovate together. That'd be fun.
That would be.
From another place, says, thank you for your and all your information and good energy. Can I purchase plans for a 6x8 and 8x10 shed? We don't have plans really for...
No, I open sourced my entire plans for the Air Creek shed, and basically I just did a 16-inch wall panel, 16 inches wide, and so whatever that ends up being for a 6-foot wall, I mean, it could be augmented anywhere. And so you can actually look up the videos where
the
I
Air Creek shed, and we have almost every single step in there.
Yeah, where I planned it out. It's kind of stuff that I open source. Maybe this winter I'll try and put together different plans, so just so that people that have a hard time taking one plan and augmenting it might. Yeah, that might be something I'll work on this winter when it's 4 feet of snow outside and I'm spending my time inside drawing
Right.
plans.
Rex says, would very much want to buy most of your products and ideas, but would love to talk to me, honeydew. So Rex wants to talk to you.
Awesome.
David Bennett. Rex, send us an email. David Bennett says, thumbs up. Thank you, David Bennett.
And send your phone number, Rex.
David Bennett says, bought my turbine, 2,000 watts from M1s a few years ago.
Right. There's a lot of different commercial ones out there.
Quinn, the Eskimo, says he's just stopping by. From another place says, the shed plans I would like to buy are for Boulder, Colorado.
So, yeah. So you're talking snow load, which we're talking this snow load here where we're at.
Right.
And, man, that shed did great.
Christopher Myers says, I rewatched your rocket stove videos the other day. Wonderful designs, and I'm hoping to build one for my blacksmith shop and the loft in the Valley building. That's awesome, Christopher. Mark Tompkins says, I may be able to source 4-foot long, 8-inch dia ceramic sewer tile. Would this be suitable for use with the Air Creek stove design?
I don't know. I'd have to heat test the tile, honestly. But if they're ceramic, there's a good chance that it would, yeah.
Christopher Myers says, those rocket stove videos were how I first discovered you a couple years ago. That's so awesome,
Thank you.
Christopher. Thank you. Paradise Farm says, why are the panels done in 16 increments, 16-inch increments? Ease of handling, manually, low capacity. Could I use 18 gauge, 6-inch wide commercial at a 24 interval?
Yeah, you could do the 24.
Sorry.
Dana.
He's getting a phone call.
So, yeah, you could do them 24-inch wide panels. It wouldn't matter. I did them 16 inches wide because that's the typical 16-inch on center wall stud panel for code in this area. And I wanted to make sure that I had those 16-inch on center. I also did it for weight purposes. Each one of those panels ended up weighing between 75 and 80 pounds. And I wanted to be able to pick them up all by myself and set them in place, which I was able to do. It was a lot easier with Melanie helping me, especially on the overhead headers and anything going horizontally. It was really kind of cool because Melanie could get on one side and I could get on the other, and we just would put them up.
Right.
And it went together like a Lincoln log set. And so, ease of handling and trying to just kind of mimic a 16-inch on center stud pattern was what I was trying to do. But you could do it in 24, and if you had made 2 guys and more help and didn't mind them weighing over 100 pounds, you know, depending on the ceiling height, because you're looking at probably around 25 pounds per cubic foot. A normal hardened concrete weighs 145 to 150 pounds per cubic foot, where this stuff weighs about 25 to 27 pounds per cubic foot. And our walls that were 7.5 foot tall, 16 inches wide, were almost exactly, just a little over 3 cubic feet. So that's why we
Greg
did
Walker says, good morning, y'all. Good morning, Greg. Jimbo says, I'm imagining a hexagonal shaped wall segment about 1 foot across, modular, so each price snaps like a Lego into the other. That sounds awesome. You guys, we only have like 2 more minutes to go, okay?
Yeah.
Jimbo says with Foamcrete, that's awesome.
Dana Collins with Army Surplus, he keeps calling me.
He's probably butt dialing you.
But he's with ArmySurplusWarehouse.com. He's our sponsor, and he's the one that's helping us with all the services for the wind turbines and the water wheels. And he's our sponsor for those projects. So you're going to hear a lot more about ArmySurplusWarehouse.com.
Greg Walker says he's needing to get his hands on a weight soon. Can the hopper be easily increased in size? Yes.
Yes.
Very
Oh,
easily.
yeah. You know what? I should put out a paper on that, because all you have to do, you know, I'm not going to ship out a bunch of different PVC parts that you can just go down to your hardware store and pick up. But you can just cut off the 4-inch tube, cut it maybe 3 inches long, and stick it in the up there, and then stick a 6x4 reducer on top of that, and maybe a 6-inch thing of, and man, that thing would be weigh like 25 pounds. So if you're like me, I could handle that. But Melanie was like, most people, 15 pounds is enough, and so that's about what it holds right now. It's about 15 pounds. And it's way better and way more quicker than the way we did it, where we just did it a trial at a time, you know, and so it's super fast.
Okay, oh yeah. Christopher Myers is wondering if we have a logo he could print out and tape to a stucco mate. I kind of personalize it with some white duct tape and
That'd be a good idea.
Sitting here trimming it and the edges a bit now with my zircon knife. That's so
We
awesome.
should get sticker labels with our logo and put them on each stucco mate.
Right.
And each,
That's a great idea. As of right now, I don't
Foam
know of any that I could send you to print out real easily. I'd have to look into that. So great idea, Christopher. Beaver Creek Farm Life says, please send your phone number to Honeydew. Thank you for sending that information, Beaver Creek Farm Life. You're so awesome. David Bennett says, have a great weekend, everybody. Have to go play farmer, right?
okay, we gotta go too.
And Guy in the University says, you're his #1 customer.
All right, love you guys.
You guys are awesome. Thanks.